Hey, what's up guys? It's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be recording my Ancient Gear deck profile. Now, I haven't really ever touched this deck when it had Ancient Gear Gigitron Dragon as the main boss monster, but now that they've released Ancient Gear Giant and Reactor Dragon, it was too good not to pass up, especially for being such a cheap deck, for just being able to buy 3 structure decks, adding a couple of cards like Silver Gadget and Gold Gadget to it, making a quick extra deck, and you got a really quick OTK deck. It's to me on par with Cyber Dragons with how quickly it can OTK, and it's from that GX era, so it's just awesome. And Arc 5 with throwing some of these cards in like Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. But let's get straight into it, and let me show you what I'm playing. So I know a lot of people only play 2 copies of this, but I'm actually playing 3 of Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. I think it's really easy to get out and really consistent to get it out. So I just chose to play 3, and I want to see it. So if it's tribute summoned by tributing an Ancient Gear monster, and it attacks defense position monster, it inflicts piercing damage to your opponent, which is really awesome. And if this card is was tribute summoned by a gadget monster, which is actually a card in this deck that's actually counts as a gadget monster and as an Ancient Gear monster, which is awesome because they kind of fuse the archetypes together. And if it's tributed by that, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. If it attacks, your opponent cannot activate spell trap cards until the end of the damage step, which is really awesome. A lot of the Ancient Gear monsters have that effect. And at the end of the damage step, if this card attacked, you can destroy 1 spell and trap card. So, spell or trap card, which is awesome. Then I choose to play because I want to go for that ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, and there's a lot of decks that let you special summon Ancient Gear Golem with ignoring its summoning conditions. I'm playing 2. It's just a retro monster. It's awesome. It cannot be special summoned, which kind of sucks. And if it attacks a defense position monster, it instantly inflicts piercing damage, which is amazing. Also, your opponent cannot activate spell or traps when it declares an attack, which is amazing. The card that kind of makes the whole deck work is Ancient Gear Wyvern. It's amazing, just simply amazing. If it is normal summoned, you can add 1 Ancient Gear card, which is any Ancient Gear card, a spell, a trap, a monster, anything from your deck to your hand instantly. Also, you cannot set cards for the rest of the turn. Big deal. We only play 1 trap in the deck. Doesn't matter. You can only activate the effect of Ancient Gear Wyvern once per turn, and if it attacks, your opponent cannot activate cards until the end of the damage step, which is pretty standard. Now, this next card that I was talking about is Ancient Gear Gadget. With Ancient Gear Gadget, it counts as a gadget and it counts as a Ancient Gear monster. So if you do have Gear Town on field and normal summon this somehow, or get it out on the field somehow, and then normal summon by treating it to summon this, you can actually get both effects off of it, which is amazing. Just simply awesome to get both those effects, being able to attack twice, and then it can destroy spell or trap, and then also, it inflicts piercing damage. It's just so fast of an OTK with that. Also, when it's normal summoned or special summoned, I can declare a type, monster, spell, or trap, which is amazing. And my opponent, for the rest of the turn, cannot activate those until the end of the damage step. Like, if my monster attacks, they can't activate it during the battle phase while I'm attacking. So, it's really, really awesome. And then once per turn, I can declare a gadget and make it that name. Big deal. That's for Ancient Gear Chimera, and nobody plays it. Ever. Then we play 2 copies of Ancient Gear Box. Basically, whenever you search with this, you're going to search this too, if you're going to grab your gadget. Because if it's added to your hand or graveyard from your deck, or graveyard, if it's added to your hand, except by drawing it, you can add 1 Earth Machine type monster from your deck that has 500 attack or 500 defense. So that also counts, yeah, that just counts as him. That just counts as Ancient Gear Gadget in this deck. So that's going to be pretty much the only one you're going to search. So we're playing 2 copies of him. Then we play, in my opinion, the card that makes the deck. Like, besides Ancient Gear Wyvern, this is the shit. Okay. If this card is normal summon, it's Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. If it's normal summon, you instantly inflict 600 points of damage to your opponent. And then once per turn, I think it's once per turn. And if it attacks, you can, they can't activate anything. And then once per turn, you can fusion summon 1 Ancient Gear monster using Ancient Gear monsters in your hand or your field as materials, including itself. So it's an instant polymerization with just this one card. So you can normal summon your Wyvern, search him, and the next turn, with how many ever Ancient Gear monsters you have in your hand, you can fuse them into Ancient Gear Giant, which is amazing. And if you only have Golem and him and then one other one, you can make Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. Then for the last 4 monsters, we play 2 copies of Golden Gadget, which, Golden Gadget and Silver Gadget, they both have the same pretty much effect. When they're normal summoned, you can special summon a level 4 machine type monster from your hand, and if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon the level 4 Gadget type monster from your deck, except Silver Gadget or Gold Gadget, depending on which one gets destroyed. If Silver gets destroyed, you can special summon Gold, or you can't special summon Silver itself, and if Gold's destroyed, you can't special summon Gold. Big deal. No big deal. But that's it for the monsters. You play a lot of monsters in this deck. I mean, not a lot. I think it's like 18, if I remember. I mean, it's not that many, but it's enough that you need them. We play a lot more spells. So we play, starting it off, we play 3 copies of Gear Town. Gear Town is Gear Town is the synergy of the deck. Both players can normal summon Ancient Gear monsters for 1 less tribute, which is awesome. It's just awesome. You could feasibly play the level 5s and 6s, but they kind of suck, so you wouldn't. And when it's destroyed, you can special summon 1 Ancient Gear monster from your deck, your hand deck, or graveyard. Awesome effect. It lets you instantly go for Reactor Dragon right off the bat if it gets destroyed. So it gives you an instant 3k beater. A lot of people used to play this and tech this into certain decks for cards like, you just take into like Malefics or something like that. Then we play 3 of the new card, Ancient Gear Catapult. Ancient Gear Catapult is when you control no monsters, you can target 1 face-up card you control and destroy it. And if you do, special summon 1 Ancient Gear monster that ignoring its summoning conditions from your deck, which is amazing. If you have Ancient Gear Town on the field, you can activate Catapult, destroy Catapult, and then special summon a Reactor Dragon, and you could special summon 2 Reactor Dragons if you wanted to, or you could actually summon a Golem and a Reactor Dragon because it ignores the summoning conditions, which is amazing. And it's such a great search, and I special summon so much in this deck that I have to play 3 of the Reactor Dragons just to get them off so much. And then you can banish it from your graveyard, then target 1 face-up card you control and destroy it, and if you do, special summon 1 Ancient Gear token from your deck that has 0/0. Yeah, you get it, but the token doesn't really help all that much. I mean, it does, but it's just a 0/0 token. Then you play 3 copies of Ancient Gear Fortress. Ancient Gear Fortress is really interesting. It's new because they used to have Ancient Gear Castle, now they have Ancient Gear Fortress. They used to have Ancient Gear Cannon, and now they have Catapult. So, with Ancient Gear Fortress, during either player's turn, when a Ancient Gear monsters were normal or special summoned, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. Like, they can't bottomless your Ancient Gear monsters anymore, which is awesome. And your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of Ancient Gear monsters. So if, like, you have your Hunting Hound on field, they can't negate the fusion summon of his effect, instantly effect. They can't break through skillet or something. And and if it's destroyed, you can special summon 1 Ancient Gear monster from your hand or graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon monsters except Ancient Gear monsters for the rest of the turn. Big deal. I'm going to make a 3k beater instantly in defense position. Then for the fusion spells, we're going to play 2 copies of, I almost said 3, 2 copies of Overload Fusion. Overload Fusion lets us get our Ancient Gear Giant later in the game because if we make an Ancient Gear Giant early by normal summoning our Hunting Hound and then activating it, sending 3 to grave, plus Hunting Hound, make, Giant gets Kaiju'd, activate Overload Fusion, make another Giant. Big deal. They're not going to have that many Kaijus unless they're playing Gradle Kaiju, then you just cry. Then we play 2 copies of Power Bond because making a 9,000 attack Giant just kills. Just kills instantly. 3 Terraformings to search our Gear Towns. 1 limiter removal because making this shit 18,000 is crazy. 2 Twin Twisters because Twin Twister, It kills back row. And then 1 Galaxy Cyclone. The reason I'm playing Galaxy Cyclone in this deck is because A, it came in the structure deck, and B, it can target 1 set card on the field and destroy it, and during your opponent's main phase, or during your main phase, except the turn it was sent to the graveyard, you can banish it and then target a face-up spell or trap card on the field and destroy it. So essentially, I could, late game, I'm desperate, this is in the grave, I top deck a Gear Town or a Terraforming, I banish this and then target Gear Town and destroy it. That's why I'm playing 1. I thought it was interesting at 1. I might take it out and play another Twin Twister. I don't know. I'm just testing it because sometimes you don't have that fodder to get rid of with Twin Twister in this deck. So, 1. It's just my secret tech. Then 1 copy of Ancient Gear Reborn. It kind of goes without saying what it does. Once per turn, if you control no monsters, you can target the Ancient Gear in your graveyard and special summon it, and it gains 200 extra attack. And even if it leaves the field, you can do it. So, it's nice. It's a good comeback card. Then we play 3 copies of Ancient Gear Giant. I know this seems like a lot, but, let's say that one of them gets killed with your... let's say one of them gets Kaiju'd. Okay, that's a big thing in this deck. You overload fusion the second one out, you can power bond out the third one. So it's not hard to get it. You have 3 different ways to fusion summon, so you might as well play 3. Then we play 1 copy of Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. It's pretty retro. It's really expensive right now, but I like it. It requires 1 less monster, but it specifically requires your Ancient Gear Golem. So it's nice. And it replaces itself if it gets... I think if it gets destroyed, it replaces itself, or if it leaves the field, it replaces itself. 3 Howitzer. Howitzer is the bomb deity in this deck. It's unaffected by all other card effects, and during your main phase you can burn your opponent for 1,000, which is awesome. And then once per turn, if this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard because it's already unaffected by everything else, you can special summon 1 Ancient Gear type monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning condition, so you can instantly special summon out your golems with it. Howitzer is probably, it's the easiest one to go for. You can power bond it out and it comes out huge. Just huge for no reason. And you just put it in a defense position and your opponent's forced to Kaiju over it, or Utopia the Lightning over it. For the XZs, I'm choosing to play 138 Hope Harboring Dragon Titanic Galaxy because you can make it with 2 golems. And, it's nice. And that's the other reason I'm playing it. Or you can make it with 1 Howitzer and a golem if you need to. Or 2 Howitzers. I don't see that happening, but you can. 2 Garganta X, it's the Searcher. You normal summon a gadget, you normal summon a box, and then you overlay and then grab the one you need. 1 Heavy Armored Trained Iron Wolf. Once per turn, you can detach an extra Z material from it, and it can attack directly. That turn to 2,200 to the face. It's nice. And if it's in your possession, it gets destroyed. You can, by battle or by card effect, you can special summon, you can add 1 level 4 machine type monster from your deck to your hand, which is nice because you can add the box and then kind of roll on to the next one. 1 Crooked Cook, because again, with both the new structure decks, he's good because he bombs the field, and you can activate Gear Town. You don't have the Twin Twister, you bomb the field. He becomes like 25, I think. I think he becomes 25. Yeah, he gains, how many points do you gain? Once per turn, I think it was either 200 or 300. It's 300. He gains 300, so it becomes a 25 beater with a Reactor Dragon on field, which just, again, makes him huge. The whole deck revolves around getting Reactor Dragon and the fusions out. Direwolf, pop stuff. This can attack directly for big points if this is already gone. And then you can spin stuff with it. It's pretty, your majority of the time you're going to go for this. This is just kind of added stuff. But anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below what you really think about this deck profile. I really enjoy this deck. It's such an OTK. I want to give a really quick shout out to Staring at Games, which is my best friend Todd, and he loves Ancient Gear, so I want to give a really quick shout out to him. Don't forget to go check out his channel. It'll be down in the description below. And this is DarkArmedDuelist, and I'm out. See you around, guys.